Hello, and welcome back to Maryland Military Surplus. Today, we're doing an MRE review, but we're not going on some crazy trek into the woods or talking about some complex survival situation. I'm just hungry, which is as good a reason as any to eat an MRE. Today's MRE is, in my opinion, one of the best for casual eating. It's not like your traditional US MRE, which, while good, has an extreme focus on sort of functionality, maybe over form. And that MRE is a Canadian IMP, specifically menu number 6, baked beans. Recently, a bunch of these have entered the market thanks to Weber Surplus, who just happens to be the sponsor of today's video. If you're looking for exquisite rations, cool camouflage, and boundless other interesting surplus items, be sure to check out Weber Surplus. So, I'm going to get started on cooking this. The Canadian IMPs, they can be a little rare. Importing them is not as complex as some of the other foreign MREs. Obviously, customs coming from Canada is a little less stringent than, stuff coming from, God knows where over the border. I've not really heard of anybody having any inspection-related issues with these Canadian IMPs, but you never know. It is a risk. That's why recently I was lucky enough to take advantage of the fact that Weber had found some of these in the United States. So, might as well take advantage of a convenient situation when you can. So, Canadian IMPs, like I mentioned before, the menus seem to be a bit more tailored towards, remember to turn your gas off. A bit more tailored towards, I won't call it casual eating, but like I said, the US stuff is very focused on simplicity and I won't call it minimal flavor, but they're very well thought out in that way. The Canadian stuff, they don't short you on flavor and food and anything like that. So this is a single 8-hour meal. And let's see what we get in this. So, first things first. So this is fruit cocktail. So this is very nice. I'm not aware of any US MRE that has fruit cocktail in it. This does appear to be a bit of a universal pouch because it mentions the cooking instructions and placing this in boiling water. I'm not going to put the fruit cocktail in boiling water. That seems like a mistake. You get a huge thing of Nescafe. This is a lot thicker than what you usually expect from a US MRE. Strawberry Crunch cereal. I guess this is like I guess this is like oatmeal. So I wasn't aware that this was a breakfast one, but then again, I guess baked beans make sense as a Canadian breakfast. We did get a Pain hamburger, aka the hamburger bun. It's interesting. I guess the hamburger bun is to dip in the baked beans. What else do we have here? Raspberry jam. Oh, jam and a bun. We have 2 packs of lemon lime sports drink. Your usual pack of matches. A beverage bag. A vanilla drink mix, so just like your traditional US MRE shake. I'm not going to be drinking that today because the sun is out, and like we traditionally do now in Maryland, we have skipped summer and headed straight into, skipped spring and headed straight into summer. So this was peanut butter. So I now have peanut butter and jam. So in addition to being a baked beans MRE, this does appear also to be a peanut butter and jelly MRE. And here is our main. So baked beans. It's pretty dang thick. It doesn't have a size on it, like a gram size, or if it does, I don't see it. But it is a bag of baked beans. And then lastly, we have some Tabasco sauce, a compressed napkin, so a little bitty napkin, some actual Tic Tacs, a giant MRE spork, and a huge paper towel. So I am going to get started cooking this, and I will be right back when it's finished. See you in a sec.
A few moments later.
Alright, our beans are just finishing up. They're cooling off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the Pain hamburger bun and make ourselves what I assume is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And this looks just like any other hamburger bun you get from the store. Albeit, it smells a little like it's been sitting in the bag for a long time. And unfortunately, just like the hamburger buns from the store, it's not cut the whole way through, because that would be much too convenient. So we'll just cut the rest of it, and then we will break open the raspberry jam, which sounds good, but I guess we'll find out if it is any good. So, oops, I didn't mean to open the whole pack like that, but we'll just get that onto the bread. Alright. Set that over there. Spread that around a bit. It is very, very thick. So, do kind of the best I can with that. Alright. Now the fortified creamy peanut butter. Doesn't appear to have any kind of crazy ingredients on it that look any different than your normal store brand peanut butter. So we'll get that onto the bread. Okay. Smells nice. There is a lingering smell from the raspberry jam that I can smell even up here with a slight breeze. That smells a little kind of weirdly artificial, but I mean, it's an MRE, so what are you going to do? Alright, now let's put our hands using this gratuitous paper towel that they give you. I actually do appreciate that. Alright, I'm going to grab the beans. So, bean bag is very hot, so I'm going to rip that open. I'm going to pour them out. Just turn the plate so you can see it. Ooh, that is a lot of baked beans. Set this off to the side. That smells just like your traditional Bush's baked beans. Strawberry crunchy cereal. I originally wasn't going to make this, but it's in here, so I might as well. So throw it into the oatmeal bowl. We'll grab some of that water that we just used to boil the pouch, if it'll come off the burner. pour some of that in there. Let's see, get it mixed up. I'm sure that there's a better way to do this. I probably put too much water in, because I was hoping that it would sort of dissolve and all that, but apparently it has not. But it does look like your sort of traditional strawberry oatmeal. And finally, oh, well, one more thing. We will make the lemon lime sports drink. Now, Mr. Weber has already reviewed one of these rations that he had, and he has told me that the one he had a very similar to the Blue Frost Gatorade sports drink, and he told me that it was, quote, better than any Gatorade he's ever had. So I am curious if the lemon lime sports drink is going to taste better than any Gatorade I've ever had. So let's mix that up. Probably did not use enough water based on how it looks like it's dissolving in the drink, but nothing like a little extra flavor in the end for you. And finally, the fruit cocktail. Probably going to, you know what, to find some space for this. And it just exploded in my face. But I'm already seeing some cherries. This smells like any other thing or fruit cocktail that you get from the little grocery store container. It's got that very similar flavor. It doesn't smell artificial. Doesn't have a funky look to it. It looks just like your traditional fruit cocktail. So, all right, it's time to start eating. I'm going to blitz through some of this pretty quick. As you guys know, I don't like to keep you, waiting while I eat the entirety of the meal. I will leave that up to the other gentleman on the internet who is very famous for eating MREs. So we'll start with the fruit cocktail. A little bit of cherry, peach. It's good. It's got, there's like a slight bit more of a preservative taste, kind of than you would expect, like from your regular stuff. It's sort of in the background. But it's not anything that like ruins the flavor or anything like that. It still tastes, just like peaches and pears. That's nice. Probably nice if it was a little colder, but unfortunately I'm sitting out in the baking sun, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Next things, we're going to try the oatmeal, which has congealed a little bit, albeit not that much. So, but we'll see how it is. It's good. Tastes like regular oatmeal. There's no crazy preservative taste in the background. The creaminess doesn't taste any kind of weird way or anything like that. Next up is the peanut butter and jelly. So peanut butter and jelly on the Pain hamburger bun, which is one of my favorite things about these MREs, is that it's Pain hamburger. But let's give this a shot. That's very good. The only trade-off is the bun. The bun definitely has a funky, preserved kind of aftertaste. The peanut butter and the jelly, though, taste delicious. And now we're going to see... Now that my mouth's all sticky with peanut butter. The sports drink is very good. It does taste exactly like you would expect a sports drink to taste like. I will say I can see what Mr. Weber was saying about the taste being a little bit different. There is no sort of that traditional afterbite that you get from a sports drink. It's definitely a little bit smoother, so that's nice. But then finally, we are going to get into the beans. So these smell pretty good. They've definitely got the sort of traditional baked beans from a can texture. They're good. There's definitely kind of a like a smoky, I don't want to call it maple flavor because that would be too stereotypically Canadian, but yeah, they're beans. They're good. Definitely a bit more of a nicer flavor profile than what you're used to kind of with the like USMRE, like the chili with beans, where you get that little bit of chili flavor, but it's still very bland and you feel the need to dump Tabasco on it. This has more than enough flavor for, you know, to stand on its own. So all in all, this is a pretty nice MRE. This could definitely do the job as a breakfast. That's a very big bee buzzing up there. Yeah, it could definitely do the job as a breakfast or, you know, as a lunch meal. There's kind of that flexibility with the oatmeal for a breakfast, you know, and then the PB&J and the beans for the afternoon. But all in all, it's a great MRE. So if you're on the lookout, I'm not sure if Weber has any left, but, you know, if you're looking for a delicious MRE to just have for lunch, the Canadian IMP, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to go. And I have gotten a hold of a bunch of them, so expect to see quite a few more videos on these rations. Thanks for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next time.